achieved, it cannot be rushed, and so on. It's not the person who can do anything to get to liberation. But are there somehow, or can you describe sort of favorable circumstances that can happen to for instance, watching cable TV compared to going to your meetings? So we could all watch cable TV.
Really good, if you've got it. No, absolutely. It doesn't make any difference because it's nothing to do with the person. Liberation, in a way, when you talk about liberation as though it's something that's going to happen, that's the problem for the individual. It's always looking at something to happen. When the sense of being a separate me suddenly collapses, it's realised it's the end of something that was never happening. So it doesn't happen to a person. Liberation doesn't happen to a person. It is simply the sudden absence of person, and there is balance. So the absence of the person has nothing to do with how the person was or what they did years before or just before liberation. It's simply you could say it's a collapse, the sudden end of an illusion. It doesn't matter what the illusion thinks it's doing or isn't doing. It has no relevance.
Because it seems that in this group of people there seem to be a surprising number of people or of individuals that are liberated compared to people riding on the subway, for instance. Of course, they don't have a badge and saying
even
well,
one.
Liberated.
But nobody who is actually liberated will tell you they are, because they know they're not.
Mm-hmm.
There's an awful lot of people who claim to be enlightened or act in such a way that they appear to be enlightened in the world. That's a state that is coming and going. Liberation is not a state and nobody has it, so they couldn't lay claim to having it. There is no one that's liberated. They can't be. And you can't say, although it seems that many apparent people who come to these meetings or something you could call liberation seems to happen to, you can't say that it's because they come, because they don't come. This is terrible stuff. Nobody comes to these meetings. There isn't anybody here. So coming to these meetings won't mean thereafter that that person will become liberated or that liberation will happen, because there isn't anybody here. This completely blows up our logical way of seeing things. People might think they come here for a reason. A seeker will come here for a reason, to get something. They may discover after a little while, or they may not. They're not actually getting anything at all. All they're getting is an awful lot of nothing. So this message doesn't feed the seeker, although the mind will try and make it into some sort of concept that they can believe in. So there's nothing here that's for the seeker. The seekers may come here for a reason to get something, but that can collapse. But in the end, the apparent reality that people are here and liberation may happen doesn't get off the ground, because there isn't anybody here.
You said you can't get anything here. Nobody is
A seeker.
A seeker, yes. But my experience is that when after such meetings like this, there is this unconditional love. But when I am in other circumstances, it's not there.
No.
But
the unconditional love that's there is not yours.
Yeah, sure. But it's
not to you.
Yeah, but it's in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
It's in the atmosphere. around such meetings, before, after, during and after. But in other places, you know, there is, it's not in the atmosphere. But maybe it could be also there, but it must be some kind of, not openness.
It's impersonal. That's the problem with most teachings, or all teachings, are that they are personal. This is totally impersonal. Maybe, well, not maybe, but there can be a sudden sense of this, which is not yours, but there can be a sense of this impersonal energy, which is unconditional. Impersonalness, which is unconditional love. There can be a sense there of that. A resonance.
A resonance.
A resonance. It's not your resonance, it's just resonance. There is resonance with this message. It's strangely enough in this world we're living in at the moment, there's more and more readiness to hear this. But none of that is anybody's. We're moving, you know, the whole manifestation, this whole story of the world, this whole moment is moving towards a sort of anarchy. In every way, religiously, politically, in every way. This sort of movement out of a concentrated energy, which is a sort of togetherness, into a sort of energy. Everything is moving apart in the story of the world. So therefore also there's a natural readiness to hear this message. The only secret message is pure energy. Because it doesn't recognise authority at all. It doesn't recognise levels. So there's a readiness to hear this at this apparent time in the story, in the appearance of the world.
But when there is more collective resonance, changing, then it's changing. When it's not in the collective, when there is no resonance, world stays the same, or is this a concept?
Well, yes, it is. Yeah. There is actually, in the end, in reality, there is no change. Nothing needs to change because everything is perfect. But in the story, in the appearance in the world, there seems to be change. In the world we're looking at the moment, seems to be changing quite dramatically. But it's only a metaphor, of course. Well, it's a metaphor. It's